Victoria, I'm going to read your energetic signature. So when I went into your energy field, I saw a ladybug and it landed on my finger and I was looking at it and then it flew off. I was like, oh, I guess I'm supposed to follow it. And so I started walking and then we came up to this really big moonstone crystal, but it was really, really big. Okay, it was probably like 6 feet high. Okay, and it was in the shape of an egg and it was so random. It was just sitting in the middle of this field and the ladybug landed on top of it. Oh, I meant to mention as well, ladybugs are signs in shamanism of prosperity and abundance right around the corner about to come in. So I wanted to say that as well. The ladybug landed on top and it was speaking to me and it said it wanted me to touch the moonstone. And when I touched it, I realized I was not the one that was going on the journey. It was me as you in this different timeline. Okay, I was actually living your memory. Okay, so when I touched the moonstone, I fell into this underground cavern. When I hit the ground, I had all this dust and dirt on me, and so I was wiping it off, and it was really dark. I couldn't see. So I clapped my hands, you know, this is you, however, this is your memory, but you clapped your hands and said illuminate, and all of a sudden there was this really big bright auric field around you, and then we could see in the cavern, and there was a whole bunch of different tunnels that I'm just going to keep on saying we can go through. And so we started to walk through one, and all of a sudden this really loud booming voice said, "Who are you?" And you, this different timeline version, said that her name was Brimneka, and I'm gonna spell it. It's Brimneka, and the A has like a little accent. At least that's my human perception of how to spell it. But Brimneka. So he said, "What is your business?" We couldn't see who this being was. Okay, it was just really loud in the cavern. And then you said that you were looking for a wand. Then your higher self from this incarnation chimed in at that time and said that they wanted me to relay to you that wands do not give you power. They help you direct your energy, though, to do specific things. Just bear that in mind. Like, there's a reason that your higher self wanted you to hear that. Okay, so then we started explaining to this voice that you found out wherever this dimensional space is that you were living, this is not Earth, you found out that way back in your history, like way, 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 way back, you have elven lineages. You are part elven. However, the way that your ancestral lineages had been occurring throughout history was elves had mixed around with like other type of beings, and you were kind of like a human, but not necessarily, okay, because this is from a different place, but you're not full elven here, because it had been like, diluted is not the right word, but the lineage had been diluted throughout history, and so you were trying to figure out what your connection to them was, like their origin. However, before I get into it further, these elves were not here anymore. Like, they were gone. Okay, so there wasn't a whole lot of people that you could ask because it was so far back in history. Oh, you had found out that a wand of one of your ancestors, your elven ancestors, had been lost in this dimensional place, and you had dedicated your life to finding this wand. Because something internally said that if you place your hands on it, that you're going to be able to get the memories back. And maybe somebody had told you that, I'm not sure, but when you put your hands on, it's like having that psychic insight of like all of the past history of these elves. It also makes sense for you, Victoria, in this incarnation, why you're so intelligent and astute, because that is an elven trait. And obviously it's not just elves that are that way, but it is one of their core traits. And so that totally makes sense, because even if this is a different timeline of yours, you're still going to have rollover DNA that is infused into all of your beings, right? All of your different incarnations. So when you were explaining why you were here in this cavern to this voice, he said, proceed, and then you went deeper into the cave, and then that's when the memories stopped. Okay, I couldn't see anything else, and I wasn't getting any more information. And I asked your higher self in this incarnation, what you could do to help you remember these things and learn if she ever did get the wand, if they did help her remember her history. And she said getting a moonstone crystal to keep with you, either in your home space or wearing like on a necklace or in your pocket, that would be really beneficial, because that's what actually got us into that underground cavern in the first place. It was like an activator. And then I asked if there was anything else that your higher self would let me see, and she showed me a book on the history of elves in that dimensional space. And when I was skimming through the pages, I could see that at some point in the history it was no longer suitable for them, is the word that I was given. And I don't know if that's because they were being persecuted, or maybe there weren't enough resources, or maybe they just found a better place to go live. I think they went off to like another world maybe, or something like that, or a different dimension. I couldn't really read very clearly on the pages, because sometimes that's meant for you to go in. Like I get glimpses of whatever I'm supposed to relay, and then they're like, oh, this is a perfect time for you to dive within yourself with your intuition and your spiritual gifts, or into your own Akashic records. And so sometimes they're using that as a practice run for you, of like, hey, if you want this information, come in here and dig for it, right? So if you do decide to do that, one, you can connect with this version of you called Bremneka and learn about elven history, at least in that dimensional space. Learn about your DNA and you being very intelligent and astute, like we said before. Now, I know you're participating in the 30 days of DNA upgrades, and actually one of the days we are focusing on elves and genealogy. And so I think that'll be a perfect addition to you learning about these things and helping that download come in and integrate. And I want to thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I hope you have a super magical day.